Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? It's been so long. We're doing really great. We're doing really great. The teams and everybody are here. I've been sitting in meditation, so we're ready to get going. How's everybody doing on New Earth? We're kind of past the threshold. We're kind of, this threshold is however big it needs to be for those that are pushing themselves through. That's what it feels like sometimes. Just know that wherever you're at is perfect. Wherever you're at is meant to be anchored. Wherever you're at is meant to be appreciated. So just honor every minute that you're moving through your own process of becoming, your own process of evolution. It's all perfect. It's all relevant. It's all meant to be exactly how it's meant to be. You are perfect and you're meant to be however you're meant to be. And just own it and honor it. Be the most unapologetic you, the most beautiful, unabashed experience of who you are, and just have life be this beautiful, sacred ride of joy. It might not feel like that. Many of you know you've been with me for so very long. Sometimes the ride is just unimaginable. It's like, why am I going through, like, what the hell? What the hell was just that? You know, as you're going through your process of your cycles of ascension and release, and understanding that your cycle of ascension is so really important for you to tap into, because it gives you that permission to kind of take that commandmentship of who you are, taking commandmentship of the body and the vessels. Thank you, Spirit. There's beings that are with me right now, and I'm going to move in and out of channeling. There's much that we want to talk about today, dear lighted ones. And I'm stepping into this new version of who I am as a beautiful divine goddess and a mother on this earth, and creating many experiences of who I am and the higher version of who I am as I've crossed many thresholds and many initiations. Thank you, Spirit, with my own teams. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit, with my own teams of great reverence, as I am a vessel and a conduit and the instrument of the divine and the holy voice. And so we're putting out many creative works, and we're so grateful for all of you tuning into our social platforms, and we're very deeply in gratitude of you. So that you understand, I am a conduit and I am an instrument of light. I am a vessel of light. And many of you have read and been a part of our books and a part of our stories of who I am. I am a crystal child, as well as the crystal children, from what I am remembering, and what I have been told is we are code breakers, if you will, of programs and paradigms of density, for we come with the constitution of vibrational information and codes that allow us to tap into streams of frequencies of light, streams of frequencies of vibration and song that are unseen, of course, because they're existing within realms of the highest frequencies of the creational templates that are held within all aspects of life, dear lighted one. And there are those of us that can tap into those threads when we are open to those experiences. Thank you, through the Holy Creator and the Mother and the Father, allowing us to be all that we are in our highest form. And in that, we get to experience realms of creation through which we're anchoring into the frequencies through which you exist within, for you will understand and you will process and you will integrate what we are saying in different ways, and you're meant to. So just know it's all perfect and it's all purposeful. You might not have to understand or get it, but just sit with an open heart to receive. And so we will prepare the fields of light for you here, dear lighted ones, and we'll present this to you in a way that you can understand. So just sit with a straight back, if you will, for this is where your beautiful experience of light will move through and in and around your body, through what you know to be the pillar of light that runs along your spine and holds the chakras that move in and around who you are as beautiful light. And Joanna's been a part of many of these creations and many planets to help the bodies prepare for greater light, transmute greater light, and also be a part of the co-creation of greater light, through which you're going to be learning how to translate light in many ways that you're meant to. To translate light, dear lighted ones, means that you're able to create and express who you are through the greatest expression of who you are. And each and every one of you, dear children, are meant to express who you are in new ways and different ways. So begin to feel the excitement of who you are as you take a deep breath. And call in great light. I call in great light, dear Spirit, and the holy creators of all life. And there are systems of light and life all around you, dear lighted ones, and you'll begin to feel this as you take on greater light, becoming greater light. Deep breath. Have your fields and your bodies just acclimatize to greater light with your breath, and with your intention, just harmonize with greater light fields. I'm harmonizing with greater light fields. Thank you, Spirit. My body, heart, mind, and soul are being harmonized as one, because I am the processor of my light, and my intentions and the beautiful codes and the packets of light that are in my field. And I will do so at my own pace. And I will do so at my own vibrational experience of consciousness. For my experience of consciousness is unlike any others, and I'm unique, and I choose to bring all my light. I choose to bring all of my experience. I choose to bring all my soul fragments and all that I am, all light that I've sent out to the universe. I want it to return now. For my experience of who I am within the all is my experience of who I am within the all, and I move at my own pace. I am whole and I am beautiful within who I am, and I anchor this to the new grids. I anchor this to the new version of me. And through breath I am, through breath I am, through breath I am in the highest light of who I am, benevolence of who I am. I reclaim my light, I reclaim my power, and I reclaim all my energy. And I choose to have an open heart in this experience and co-creation of these beautiful beings that are meeting on New Earth. In this etheric experience and this spiritual experience. The spiritual experience is absolutely including all that you've ever experienced in anything called that you have named on your planet as religion, in the faiths that you, all the faiths that you have practiced and that you've been a part of co-creating, and all the limitations that are held within those faiths. And any God and any experience of beingness that you choose to honor and worship and allow to be your highest light, your highest creator essence, they're all one. It's all of the same great one for which you are a part of, and so too are your brothers and sisters, all that is. And so in all moments, allow yourself to love yourself so much so that you release the past. I love myself so much so I release the past. I love myself so much so I am grounded in this present moment, and I bring all of my breath to my presence. Thank you, Divine Creatorhood. Thank you, Divine Creators. And we're sitting in this beautiful etheric circle, and we'd like to bring the celestial councils in, and the councils of light, and the councils and the high guardians of new lands and new paradigms of horizons. Thank you. And just so that you understand, for I am a conduit, and I am a channeler, and I am a sacred singer and a sacred tone specialist, if you will. I've been on this planet many times. I've been in the universe and multiverse and experiences right now. And as I am sitting in this experience, I'm being shown many aspects. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Creator. I'm so grateful, Creator. Many aspects of the universe that I belong within. And I'm becoming a more harmonized experience of who I am as a soul. And I've come here in great light and great expectation for my own soul's journey to explore and experience more of who I am as the divine being of light, so that I may bring forward my gifts through which your collective consciousness is calling out, that it needs and it honors, and it's excited to know and explore different ways through which many of the gifted channelers and beings that are now expressing their gifts can help you have a window to and a peeking into what is beyond what is seen or what might be even known at this time. And for your consciousness can take you anywhere, dear lighted ones, and you, each and every one of you, have these gifts to expand your consciousness through breath and intention. Through just softening what you had as beliefs and stories that were holding you back, you can choose to release those stories through the learning and the accepting of them. And to choose a different story for yourself, dear lighted ones, when you are aligned in all the harmony of who you are with the straight beingness of being love and being light. And that connects you with the soul of all that you are, that exists on all timelines, all realms, as if you are this beautiful center point through which all experiences are sprouting off from, and you are a part of all that. Just as too your brothers and sisters in your family, even the ones you complain about, are so too your brothers and sisters. And so we're sitting in this beautiful, and thanking you so much. Thank you, Spirit. I'm thanking you so much for this experience in the etheric. We're so grateful. And the various beings that are of the frequencies that Joanna comes with for these channelings of different and various multidimensional beings. For many of you come from many different DNA and celestial backgrounds and galactic and ET backgrounds. Many of you, dear lighted ones. Many of you are very new souls, and various of you are old souls, meaning that you've come here with different degrees and different blueprints of exploration. And we're so happy to have you with us in this etheric chamber, loving you so very much for your exploration here on planet Earth. We come from a variety of beings and celestial hoods, dear lighted ones, from any of our lands and our planets you have not heard of, within the celestial capacity of who each and every one of you are, opening to your hearts now. I thank you so very much to be a part of this great exposition of oneness. So I'm just coming through as Joanna. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I'm just showing you from my perspective what I'm moving through. And there's a greater frequency and fluidity of my soul self that is connected with various councils. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, as I'm a part of the various collective councils and the various universal beings and threads of consciousness. Thank you. And when I'm opening myself up to channel, I'm tapping into those threads and aspects of me, for they are various threads of dimension and vibrational frequencies that I can feel, sense, and know, and are streamed into the various oversoul and the beings that I come with, and that also come with me for my higher self. My higher self is reminding me to slow down, because some of you prefer a slower speech. Joanna could be very fast if she wanted to. If she was speaking to another channeler, they would be just zipping, zipping, zipping along. Telepathic communication right now happening between many of you. Thank you, very delighted ones that are opening yourselves up to the telepathic communication that downloads informations and books, if you will, within moments. So those of us that are in the collective councils that are with Joanna at this moment, we are depositing what you need and how you need it. So just know that there is information going into your fields. For those of you that are excited to know and explore different things, just know that, dear lighted ones. So there's like, how it looks to me is that there's this pyramid, and there's these beings and the councils in the etheric chamber that are the hierarchies of the heavens, if you will. And those are names that we have on human earth, but it's not what it means in the heavens. Hierarchies of the heavens does not mean what we think it means. If you look up the word hierarchy, that's not what it means. We're just saying hierarchies of the heavens because they are the heavenly councils that disperse light program information. And it is equal opportunity for all beings of the heavenly light, that spirit God, those of the greatest excitement to be a part of light program initiations. And they're the ones that get that task because it's their greatest excitement, and they have trained for it, just as I have trained for my role. This is why God and the creators and all of creation, your soul blueprint and the oversoul and your oversoul of oversouls, and the guides and the beings that you come with, will always give you what you need when you need it. And you will never be advanced before you're ready. You will never be stopped or hindered or pulled back unless there are greater soul lessons that you need to learn to understand the understandings of the flow and the balancing of all creation and what your soul has come to learn, so that you can move through your initiations. And if you will, your teams are always aching for you to arise and to transcend your densities of limitation and your beliefs. However, anywhere you are in your path is perfect, always, but you will never be rushed ahead, and you will never skip steps, and you will never move beyond what you're ready for. For these are the processes of evolution. You would not want to step into a light ship without understanding how to fly it, be it, for they are all the expressions of one. And so in this etheric chamber, there are the beings that are depositing what you need. And so that is what I am seeing as the Joanna, the vessel, and the conduit, just so that you can understand what I'm experiencing. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And so many of you would like to, thank you. Many of you would like to feel a very open experience into what's coming, what's coming, what's coming, and to be in the avenue and the pathway and the alignment of what's coming. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Just doing some clearing. And so those are the safety issues that we're releasing from the lower chakras. Thank you. It's just to know that there's much that is going on celestial and galactically to prepare yourselves for any type of shift that you're going through. And you can sense that by how you feel from day to day, and perhaps keeping a log and a journal of how you're feeling, and logging your dreams and the things you're being awakened to, the things that you think you might be hiding from yourself, not facing what you choose to face, and not allowing yourself to be the most joyful expression of you, for that's why you're here, dear lighted ones. How often can you remind yourselves that you are here to live in your highest joy? And that's truly what you're going to be stepping into, is greater and greater awareness of what brings you joy, how and where brings you joy, where are you being guided and led to, how are you being allowed to express who you are as the highest vibrational human being, and those that you can have collect around you that are admiring your experience of being a human being of great expressive experiential capacities. Thank you, Spirit. There's stories that were going on at the time that I was expressing that, and the thread that we were talking about was in ways that you are able to shift your words into higher vibrational stories. And so what they're giving me is, right now, I am going to be learning, as I'm opening up to these beautiful channels with you, dear lighted ones, is how to create stories with words that have stories within the words. That is what channeling is, because there's packets of information within the words that we say, and most of you know that as a Christ conduit, we're offering vibrations of great stories of exploration, and those of you can feel the excitement of where you might go and how you might traverse as a fifth dimensional being of light, and how you're preparing yourselves in that way, physically and mentally, emotionally, and energetically, etherically, and spiritually. What does that mean for you in all moments? You're exploring who you are, what you exist within, and what exists within you, and you're being more loving to your bodies and caring to your bodies so that you can process greater light. And processing that greater light, dear lighted ones, means that you're going to open yourselves up to the expansive way through which the stories that you're moving through are just stories of light evolution. That light evolution, we'll let you think about that and ponder that, for it will mean something different to each and every one of you. And if you're sitting in bed quietly just before you fall asleep, what does light evolution mean for you? Is it a static point in space and time? Is it a song? Is it a thread that you can move on just as if you were surfing a wave? What does that mean for you? How can you express it as the highest vibration of who you are, that you're just tapping into, and you're just on this merry-go-round that's already going? And you're going to jump onto this merry-go-round, but this merry-go-round has different spirals and different vibrations and different templates and different threads that it can move on. And you're the director with Spirit. And Spirit says, what would you like to learn today, dear child? And the etheric chambers are all here supporting you, so know that. Infinite beings of infinite consciousness that can say, you're going to tap in with a collective of consciousness that are going to prepare you to meet with us in the fifth dimensional realm, or in the etheric realm, where we're preparing you to work with us on a higher vibrational level. And to do so, we must allow you to be more open to release what was, and release the densities and the packets you've been carrying around with you. They're so very heavy, and you have called them on your planet burdens. But those are just vibrational stories or remembrances or wounding or energies that you've had from others projected at you. And they're just experiences of energy that you can choose to release and have it transmuted into something new. And you can choose to release the burdens in however way you may choose to. It might be an experience, it might be a memory. Choosing to honor what has learned through that process of carrying that burden. How free it feels just to let it go, because you have that choice, you have that right. Spirit would never ask you to carry anything that's no longer required, for once the lesson is learned, your heart chakra can open up into a new state of beingness. So we ask you to take a breath and choose with your beautiful intention just to tap your heart, your beautiful, beautiful heart. Tap your heart gently, just gently. I choose to release the burdens in my life right now, Spirit, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically, or spiritually. If I'm carrying around something that's no longer needed, I choose to release it now. Thank you. I'm calling in the heavens. Thank you, heavens, for allowing this beautiful, beautiful transmutation. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And I choose to release it to the beautiful experience that is the Christ consciousness within me, because it knows that once it's done, it's done. I can cycle it into something new. I can regenerate that energy. And each of you have this ability to do so. You're here to manifest and create in your light. You're here to manifest and create in who you are as the grand soul. And your soul will show you, dear lighted ones. Your soul will show you who you are in all moments. Your soul is guiding you with these little packets and these little experiences that you get to explore and unpack every day. There might be a new excitement. There might be a new pondering that keeps guiding you to something new. So follow those inner nudges and heed the call of Spirit when it's ready to let go of a dysfunctional pattern, or perhaps an experience that continues negativity in a spiraling cycle. When you've learned the story already, time to let it go, then just let it go. And if you're not understanding how to let it go, because so many of you on the path to ascension is quite arbitrary. What does it mean to let it go? It's quite non-substantial, because there's no steps and there's no processes, because everyone holds on to something differently based on the depths and the wounds that they have within the psyche on safety. Letting things go is all belonging to safety. And what does safety belong to? It belongs to anything that has occurred within the consciousness experience, whether it's this timeline or another, that is allowing you to operate in a level of fear. Somehow, some way, there is a wound that is attached and connected to fear, and you do not feel safe. And therefore, you must hang on to what you have known, fearful of what might be in the unknown. For that is all the psyche understands and the ego understands, is to keep itself safe in somehow by continuing to cycle on paradigms and beliefs and patterns that is no longer necessary in a frequency that is all willing to the all creator, the beautiful infinite creation that you are a part of. However, you have not been told how to share the version of you inside as the spirit of the creator. All aspects in creation are little bubbles of spirit of the creator, and how may you see all in front of you as spiritual creators, just creating different stories. And you get to choose with your free will, and you get to choose with who you are as divine beings of light, from your own sovereignty within, from your own power from within, what you choose to dance with and entangle with or invest in. Directing your energy with great joy, just allowing yourself to unfold with great joy is enough to always maintain a beautiful path of unfolding. It's not a lot of dynamics of thought, dear lighted ones. We're asking you to become feelers of your reality, sensation beings of your reality, to process what you're moving through in ways of just open vessel of processing of love and light. And if something doesn't feel right, you don't have to have it come in for you to process. For some things are not meant for you to process. They're meant for other beings around you or in your circle that have been very good and very established and very practiced at presenting and projecting their energy onto others for others to deal with. For their ability of accountability, or their ability to go within and suss it out themselves and to transmute it themselves, has kind of left their ability of knowingness. And they choose to operate in that way, and that's okay. But you don't have to be a part of that game. You can offer them compassion and move about your way and not invest or entangle or engage, so that you're not a part of that quantum experience. Just disengage to what does not feel good, disengage to what is conflicting, not of truth or integrity. And it's all up to you. For each and every one of you have soul lessons that you must move through. And so it's discerning what feels right for me, what feels good, what is feeling creative and joyful and exciting, what is in honor of my soul. So I want you to think about this, dear lighted ones, as you move about your day, as you're stepping into these new environments of sacredness. Are the words that you're speaking in honor of the sacred vessel that you are? For yourselves are listening. Can you speak and can you mumble? Can you sing and can you hum the vastness of your excellence and your magnificence and who you are? Can you see all those before you, a vibration of who you are, and they're a reflection? Say, wow, I see you as great. For I see you as great, therefore I am. I feel myself as great, therefore I am. All is great, therefore I am. My planet is healing, therefore we are. Can you perceive the joy of the planet uplifting? Can you feel yourself dance in new ways, dear lighted ones? For you are the driver of this commanding ship. And once you allow yourself to establish that, as Joanna has given bright offerings to some of her beautiful, beautiful, beautiful clients, for you are going to be entering into a stage here, dear lighted ones, where multidimensionality will feel and be sensed and move through you in different ways. For it might be a profound dream that might awaken you to your multidimensionality. For, dear lighted ones, the ground beneath you is very soft. Beginning to feel yourself in new ways, dear lighted ones. How exciting. For the soul of you, the all of you, is wanting to express and explore yourself in new ways, for you are so vast and beautiful and divine. How can you feel yourself in this new way? For example, you can allow yourself, dear lighted ones, to heal your body in new and various exciting ways. The body in and of itself is a beautiful vessel of matter and biology of your matter. And there's processes of love and flow and existence within all that you are as matter. That matter, dear lighted one, has a template. That template is you, versions of you that are put together through stories of belief and stories of perspectives, dear lighted ones. Those perspectives are anchored and rooted in your lineage, in your Akash, and in your collective social experience. Your social experience, we sometimes have laughed, all of us, on all sides of all realms and of all blankets of creation. If you say beyond the veil, it's all one. There have been many experiments, if you will. How far into separation can you go? And then remember, you are part of the whole, you are part of the great one. And in this and in doing so, dear lighted ones, your senses and who you are as an operator of light becomes quite different, because you then start to value and appreciate the loving vessel of who you are, and you start beginning to experience your reality in new ways, for you want your reality to envelope and embody you as love, as you embody you as love. For remember, as you allow yourself to quantify who you are as love, we say quantify to the minute experience of who you are, for you are particles of love. To the smallest particule of who you are within the DNA, you are love. And you can operate in this way, dear lighted ones, and become a part of the all that is love. And there are songs and threads and templates and blankets of love. However, the perspectives and the stories that you are holding yourselves within, dear lighted ones, and you can let it go just as if it's a balloon that wants to float up to the heavens. And you can experience new realms of experience by simply saying, I don't want to be attached to these stories that are holding me in limitation anymore. I choose to cut the thread and cord to the story. I have learned it, and I ask the healers and the divine beings of light to assist me in releasing the stories physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I choose to let this go. I choose to be free in the liberation of who I choose to be now. And every moment is a spiral of now. And every moment is a spiral of experience that is the existence of all that you are. Now think about that, dear lighted ones, and soften into your hearts with a breath. Pull your consciousness into your hearts. For your experience is the existence of all that you are. Your experience of all that you are. Now, and now. You are vast, you are wide, you are deep, and you are rich of all experience. There is much more going on, dear lighted ones, than you can imagine. And this is what is meant by multidimensionality. When you start to harmonize all that you are and all the soul fragments and all the soul experiences in the inner child and all the woundings and all the shadow aspects, you're allowing yourself to become greater light. For in the shadows, you will always experience a new aspect of you, and you're acknowledging it as you. I understand this part of me in this beautiful story that felt so left out, felt so abandoned, felt so betrayed. And that vibration will sit in your consciousness, in the vessel, in the bubble that you are. And it will continue in the spiral of now to attract such experiences because that story has been unresolved. And until you acknowledge and resolve that story, you will continue in that level of consciousness until you take the courage and the bravery to say, it's just me. There's only me inside this wound. And I must acknowledge it. I must become it. And I must shine the light of who I am in it. For in any shadow, dear lighted ones, it will take challenge and bravery and boldness to go within it. But you are always there in a new version of you. And then you become even braver and bolder, dear lighted ones. You become more multidimensional because you know that no matter what is in your experiential reality right now, it's just a vibration for you to navigate through or around. It's all spirit. Just varying degrees of consciousness and beliefs and perspectives. Each and every one of you are here to transcend them for your collective reality. And each and every one of you will be on varying threads of now, based on the consciousness level that you all hold. You all hold different vibrations of consciousness. Different vibrations of consciousness. And the more light that you are oscillating within will be the quickening of the spirit, if you will, and the spirit quickens. And as the spirit quickens, it releases the density within the multidimensional body, the biochemistry and the biology of who you are. And so as we were saying, you're going to be feeling more multidimensional, dear lighted ones. So how may you feel into this feeling, this sensing of being multidimensional in these new 5D beddings of beautiful malleability of earth that is pressing in you as you are pressing in her. The birthing of the galaxy is being born through you, dear lighted ones, for you're bringing the galactic version of all that you are, the universal version of all that you are, the God energy of all that you are into this new version of you. For you're claiming who you are as a universal being. You're so delightful, aren't you? Of course you are. You want to play with new people. You want to play with new beings of light. You want to play with the earth in a new way. For you're collecting who you are as a vibrational being. And this vibrational being, dear lighted ones, has understanding of the biosphere, has understanding of the topography, has understanding of the oceans and what the oceans mean to you as a planet. And how have you been degrading her resources that are so gently and loving you in all moments. How to see yourself in the planet as one. How to be symbiotic as one, dear lighted ones. How are you symbiotic of the light body of who you are, the water body of who you are, and be energetically aligned in this, dear lighted ones. It's a beautiful experience of excitement. You're here to show this excitement to your children, are you not? It's okay wherever you are at is perfect, dear lighted ones. We want you to stop blaming and shaming yourselves back into dissension. We want you to start owning and acknowledging, right where I am is perfect and I'm great. Right where I am is perfect and I am great, and I will not succumb to another story of me. For you're breaking conformity, dear lighted ones, that allows you to be more multidimensional. For you're not meant to be robotic, stuck within your mind. And it's okay if you are. It's all perfect too. But there is more, dear lighted ones, and you know there is. There are just those stories and those fears that you might be acting different and strange and weird because eons it's meant in conformity and subjugation. Why be weird? Well, why not? Why be boring? Why be boring? I want to be new and I want to be different, and I will. For I'm tired of fitting myself within smaller stories. Not going to happen anymore. I will have fun and I will sing, and I will assist in the transformation of human social experiences that become altruistic, and we rewrite the laws of human rights, universal rights, divine rights, and we anchor new light laws that our bodies and our minds and our paths are respected. For all children should not be subjugated to anything. The creativity of their own hearts and minds, they know who they are. Return to center and be sovereign. You do not need groups and governments leading you, dear lighted ones. You are sovereign beings of many galactic dimensions of light. How may you begin to act within who you are as love? What does love really feel like? It's changing in all moments depending on where you sit within your consciousness, and you can go deep into it and be rich in it in any moment that you stare at a flower or a beautiful child laughing. These are the expressions of love, dear lighted ones. Each and every one of you are. How did you think you were not? What stories did you buy into that said you're not love? Your body could not exist without love. And that's why so many are ill and diseased. For you have been cut off from the spirit of love that is within, that feeds and quickens your light, transforms and transmutes you in every way, dear lighted ones. And so we say to those that have been on this path and have just started this path and ready for the feeling of multidimensionality, what's that mean? Do not try and jump and speed ahead. You don't want to miss anything in between, for you're going to need the gifts and the skills and the sensing and the tools to get you where you need to go. Sit back and enjoy the ride. When you're asked to step forward, you will step forward. When you are asked to move, you will move. When you are asked to be a part of a new collective, you will be a part of a new collective. Heck, you might even start one. And allow whomever and whatever to say or be or act or behave however they so wish, for they are seeing their reality from their level of consciousness, and you see yours from yours. You create from yours. You are the breaking of the code so that they have easier flow and they don't have to move through the density that you did. If they so choose, it's always free will, and allow them that path as they can hopefully allow you that path. For many of you have been subjugated, and many of you have been stuck with the fishing line and the fishing rope of all those that don't want you to move on, that don't want you to explore, that don't want you to be who you are, in the essence of who you are, for it's too uncomfortable for them. And that's okay. Allow them to sit in whatever they're meant to sit in so that they can expand in who they are. And if judging is how they choose to sit, then allow them to judge. It doesn't have to affect you. To be as silly and as whimsical and as joyful as you so choose, for you are the ones that are bringing this new momentum of the fifth dimensional reality to creation. Fifth dimensional reality to creation, dear lighted ones, means that you're anchoring it in a new way, and you are being that biophysical experience, that biochemical experience, the biology of who you are in new ways. For you cannot offer in that fifth dimensional experience unless you are opening up into it and being it, practicing it, anchoring it to that frequency that you call that template of earth, so it becomes more quasi-physical. That is how your bodies are, dear lighted ones. And we mentioned earlier about how you can allow your bodies to create within this multidimensional healing space. Now that you understand what we have been moving through, a story that we're offering in this channel, to feel multidimensional means that it will encompass many things, and many of you might experience it first as tapping into new ways of healing. How may you heal the body in a multidimensional way that transcends anything that we've ever experienced? And just for fun and kicks and giggles, How may you feel multidimensional in your body? And what does the body mean and of itself as being multidimensional? Start pondering, start wondering, start fascinating, because you are, dear lighted ones, you are. Your cells are waiting for you. Your body, your physical matter is waiting for you. The synaptic pathways in your brain are waiting for you to pass through and break the codes of those mental patterns and viruses that kept you on the same merry-go-round of thought. Merry-go-round of thought, merry-go-round of thought, merry-go-round of thought, where you're so bored because you know tomorrow you're going to have the same merry-go-round of thought. Your mind cannot allow you through the portal of ascension. You must feel into who you are, dear lighted ones, and begin to have fun. Feel into who you are, dear lighted ones, and begin to have fun. Who are you? I am a beautiful being of holy light. Thank you, Creator. I'm allowing myself to expand and surrender into who I am as a soul. And in all moments I can be different. In all moments I can be new. In all moments I can channel beautiful wisdoms and informations for those who so desire to tap into the frequency of who we are, offering ourselves in this beautiful spiral of now, and expand who we are in breath, in light, in love, and oneness, and begin to ponder what multidimensionality really means. That our minds and our bodies and our hearts and our souls are being harmonized as this higher version, this template, this vessel of love and light. Our fields are being activated in new fields of codes. That you walking in your light in the center and the power of who you are, you get to enable yourself to perceive. Get to enable yourself to allow the version of all things just to simply be perfect, without having the old triggers of judgments and separation. And you can stand within the center that is neutrality and know that all is perfect in the acceptance of who we are as spirit, moving about billions of unique pathways of soul expression and human experience. How beautiful that is. How beautiful it is that every child born gets to experience the earth that you are co-creating in new and vibrant, beautiful ways, and how we are rewriting systems of generations and generations and generations of paradigms and paradoxical limitations. In every way that you have experienced it, you have created it. How exciting can it be to rewrite it? For you are all wizards, dear lighted ones. We want to remind you of that. You are all wizards. And how and when did you ever think that you were anything less? So feeling your bodies in a multidimensional ways means that you can begin to practice in your multidimensional bodies of greatness. How may you define yourself without limitation at all, and choose to know that you are entering into, as we are offering you now, stories within your words. There are stories and vibrations within your words because you are spirit and you are multidimensional. As you begin interacting with one another, your words and your stories will mean and feel and be presented with different things. And for those of you that have the hearts to hear, you'll understand what that means. For you're becoming more spirit. And because you still communicate in words, your words will be packed with spirited light. And those that are Christ conduits are presenting light, and you're presenting the flow of light, and you're presenting the flow of energy in all things spoken. For this is the activation of the fifth dimensional throat chakra. The throat chakra of all that is spirit in all ways. How you present yourself through all chakras will be harmonizing in new ways as the assimilation of who you are as light. Entering into new light fields, your harmonization of all that you are as light is changing. And your light is changing because your hearts as a one collective is presenting itself through the pulsations. We ache for new light. We ache for new ways. We ache for new leaders. We ache for peace on our planet. We ache to present ourselves as creative beings, that all chakras and all bodies and all minds and all experiences harmonize as one as the greatness of who we are. We are multidimensional beings of light. We are living in these beautiful spiritual bodies, and our spiritual bodies are transforming and transitioning. So be peaceful with your bodies, dear lighted ones, and give them greater rest. Be peaceful with your bodies and begin to speak with them with affirmations and intentions. For you are existing within far more than you think and more than you know. We're so happy to be with you in this moment of time, this moment of space. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And I'm sending out the frequencies of Vedike Namakaya dedication and Maya dedication, light language and experiences of love and song. We're going to do an activation of light language and song, please, to open up your hearts. Any information, any codes that is being deposited by those that are listening now in future now moments, by any collective councils or beings and galactic councils that you're working with to assist you in healing, removing blockages. Anybody that would like to get a connection with us on a personal session, our email and our information is below, or you can go to our website, which is also listed in the details below. And what did you say, Spirit? Yes, any blocks and any energies that you feel might be hindering you are always going to thread back to the stories through which you're meant to go within that story and find out where are you at in that story. Are there still lessons for you to learn in that story? Say if it's a story of abandonment, where are you at in that story of abandonment? Are they stories that you've already been presented time and time again and now you're ready to let it go? Or is the story of abandonment even new to you? You don't know what abandonment means. And then start allowing those stories of abandonment to bring forward those wounds. And when those wounds are ready to be brought forward, you don't necessarily have to be triggered into a reaction. And those reactions then cycling the same karmic stories. You want to be at peace with your stories, and being at peace with your stories means you got to work through those energies. You got to work through the stories, right? The only way to release the story is to work through it, to feel the wound, to allow the wound to be opened, open that wound, and allow the light in to heal it by accepting it, by acknowledging it, that you were abandoned. Most of you have been abandoned on this earth. Most of you have memories of being abandoned in some way, somehow, whether a friend betrayed you, whether your family betrayed you, whether your family left you, whether you were forgotten at the bus stop one day. All of you have stories, and each and every one of you, that is your commonality. You are healing the same human wounds. So when are you going to start gathering in oneness? Instead of separating yourselves in how diverse you think you are, that is your commonality. You are all diverse. You're all meant to be here and share your stories. So how can you work the old energies and create new? How can you work the old energies and create a new? And be in your unique vibration. For you're not meant to come here copying others. You're meant to go within and activate who you are. For at some point, somehow, some way, dear lighted ones, make no mistake about it, you will have to face who you are. Are you being authentic in the vibration of you? And if you're not, when will you? When will you be the song of you? Or will you be forever on the chase to copy others? Will you be forever on the chase to beat or to win? At some point, you must face that. Why am I not good enough with me? Why do I feel I have to chase? Why do I feel I have to put competition in? Why do I have to feel I'm not enough? Go within and answer those questions. Or continue to create not enough. Each and every one of you have unique spaces on your consciousness experience through which each and every one of you are dealing with this. There is no competition, dear lighted ones. Creation is not a race. Your dimension is not a race. The fifth dimension can be as long and as wide as you want it to be. How long have you been held within 3D? You see what we're saying? There's no race. You will be where you need to be until the lesson is learned, until your soul says, time up. We learned that lesson, let's move on. And your higher self will guide you. Your higher self will trigger you. Your higher self will say, enough of that story, let's move on. The universe and the heavens are with you, dear lighted ones. And when enough is enough, it will be enough. Spirit and God will step in. But you want to be the one that makes that sovereign choice, to choose it for yourself. I am a sovereign being. I stand in my power and I will move. Move, mountain, move. No more holding back. No more playing small. Everyone is responsible for their own path. Everyone is responsible for their own light. So be it for you. If you are it for you, the all are served. And how may you feel multidimensional? What does that feel like? What is that sensing like? When you are healing your bodies, dear lighted ones, you can take your bodies anywhere to be healed. You will start to understand this and feel this. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And thank you, dear lighted ones. Councils of light, thank you, Spirit. We're just going to do some light language channeling for those who so desire, for those beings that are ready to have. Take it, sounds and light language and sacred sounds and sacred sounds. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We're so excited. Hi, Shishana Makaratake, Shisiata, the Kana Makaratake, Shisiana Makaratake, Shisia Mai, the Kishin Maed, Ma Eat, the Asian Makaratake. My Sisiana Makaratake. I Shimana Karatake, the Gita Makaratake, Asia, Naiber Karita, Mama Aid, the Kitna, I Sisana Makaratake. Sima Karatake. Asian Makaratake in Na Eat, the Kishin Makarat. Esse marcada de Pesina marcada de marcada de na já lá marcada de esse na cara maera de na marai se na cara de na marcada de esse na cara para cara de na cara esse na marcada de esse na cara de na cara de esse marcada de na marcada de esse na cara de Nishira na cara de na cara de na marcada na cara Messi na cara maera de Aishi Manakaragel Markarade, Markarade, Sianaka. Ain Amakaradication, Shianaka, Lanakadamara, the cases, Namaraka, the Namaraga, Nation Amaraka, Dumaraka, the Gain and Nakara, Ma. It's an Amakaradication, Shianaka, Lakaka. Aishi Manakara. I am Makaradik in the Makade, the Makaradik, I ribbon it. I am Makaradik, Sianaka. Okay, so what they were saying there is there's many multidimensional beings that are connecting with your higher selves, and they're presenting to you why and how, what like language is and how it connects with the multidimensional fields of who you are, for we live within and exist within multidimensional fields of light, and there are meridians within our multidimensional systems, for you are more than the physical body. And those of you that are activating higher vibrations of consciousness, you understand that, for there are certain sounds and certain experiences that you have on certain areas of land and even around certain people, through which your vibration shifts and changes. Light language is the transference of experiential song through the Holy Creator, through light language that goes right through to the multidimensional aspects of who you are, and the clear knowing that there is a language that is beyond sound of words that are defined through beliefs and perspectives. They are the multidimensional experience of who you are, that your cells are remembering as love light. So it breaks through the paradigms of thought patterns and beliefs, and it goes right to the core of who you are as the essence of spirit. That is light language. Each and every person that will begin to speak light language will do so in their own unique dialect. They are here as templates to inspire others to move within their own unique experiences of expression of spirit. For each and every one of you have different lengths and lineages of different ET, celestial, galactic beings of expression, and all versions of light language are unique unto itself, depending on what version and what demographic you reside from or choose to speak in. Also, so much is going into this conversation, and you'll have it in your field if you want to choose to go and unpack it. For instance, just for example, a seventh dimensional experience of, we call everything singular, but it's not. When light language is being expressed through a channel, it is being done so by a consciousness stream of vibrational beings. She is opening up to an experience of her higher self and her oversoul that is downloading information and wisdoms, and simply translating what is being brought through as codes and light and song in a way that is dialect of sound and tics and utterances of a language known in other bodies that she carries. This is also simultaneously telepathically translated and communicated in the vibrational field that you all exist within, and why you feel and sense different things. And different parts of your experience are being just reminded, activated. And so it's more than you can put in one sentence, if you will. cannot be defined because it's multidimensional and we just don't have words for what a light language offering is. It's a way to break the density of conformed programs that just go round and round and round with the mind. Breaks those mental patterns, and the synapses are going, wow, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Create a new thought pattern of love and light. What's out there? What's out there? It's wondering and pondering and wondering and pondering, which is more of an emotional, intuitive experience for the mind, right? Getting that mind off that merry-go-round virus that is very limiting and very robotic. And so you're multidimensional beings, so start feeling into it. Feel your way through your reality now, right? The inside out experience. Yes, we'd like to do some singing before we close it off. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, so what they were saying, just so that you are aware, they want me to go back to what that light language included was various expressions of understanding for those that are new with Ascension, new with listening to light language, new with what language does and inspire and activate. It just allows you to flow into the higher vibrational experiences of who you are. In some way, somehow, there will be aspects of your multidimensional beingness that gets light language. And gets it means that you don't have to make a story out of it. It doesn't have to mean something to you. What it does is it sends codes and energies into your field to break up dense patterns of conformity and limitation and subjugation. And it just reminds you of your multidimensional universality that you come from, through which these words are not used. It's telepathic, it's high vibrational. It's the use of sounds and ticks and vibrations of song. And they're used from many different dialects and regions, and every world has its own unique version of light language. And as it's passing through the channel, it will then be expressed in an infinite number of ways, for there's never been the same light language delivered twice. There just hasn't, because there's different beings that harmonize, and on any moment that the collective gathers. There's new beings with us today that I've never channeled before. So the light language will absolutely be different, because the intentions, I love you. Thank you, we're so grateful. They're just showing me these beautiful images just for me. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so lucky. Thank you, Spirit. So lucky. So for all of those that so desire, we're going to open up to beautiful sacred song. This is Joanna's sacred gift. For her intention is to be the beautiful sacred songstress of your planet, to present your reality with beautiful sacred notes and sounds and tones of many ancient lands and many ancient planets. And feel free to sing along, dear lighted ones. Feel free to sing along. And you can choose to turn your volume down just a little bit, because we will move into some high-pitched experiences. We're clearing out some of the pineal and some of the crown chakra areas. So just open and receive this light. Put yourself happy. Is it okay? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, let's close it off, please. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. And we're detaching the threads of the frequencies of the Holy Councils. Thank you, Holy Councils. Anytime you'd like to channel in any of the beings to help you, assist you with your healing, assist you with your wisdoms, and in your beautiful ascension cycle, there's always infinite beings that are around you at any moment. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that connect with us in each and every day. Any of you that would like a beautiful session with us, please find our emails below, and we love you so much, dear lighted ones. We want you to explore this beautiful planet with grace and with love and with honor, with respect for one another, with respect for the land, for she holds you so very dear. She is being birthed into a new galactic region. We want you all to celebrate and be so joyful. How may you see your planet as peaceful? How may you send through your feet and through your whole body and your vessel of multidimensionality the vibration of peace? How may you love yourself as the vibration of peace? How may you love yourself in all the ways that you are? You're beautiful, unique beings. So begin to feel into the love of who you are as galactic, universal, omnipresent beings of spirit, and have spirit transform and transmute all within you. Thank you, Spirit. I'm getting my vacation, Anaka. My heart is so rich with each and every one of you. Thank you so much, dear lighted ones. We want to thank you. I want to thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. I don't know how long this is. I was in like a totally other place. So thank you. That was really great. I love you all and I'm so grateful. Donations and any information down below would be really great. We love each and every one of you. Please start to have fun. We're in this beautiful experience. Just send love and prayers to everybody. Know that everybody's doing the best that they can. Forgive as often as possible. Move on from everything and anything that is bringing you harm or pain. And know that you're meant to be a unique version of you. Allow yourself to sing and shine brightly, and allow yourself to know that you are supported by Source Creator in all moments, and the universe will respond greatly and with great pleasure and with great love. We sing to you, to the hearts of all that is. May the heavens live through you in all moments that you are unique and authentic, and we love you. Good night, dear lighted ones. Good night, children of love, and we rainbow you. Thank you. Bye, rainbow kisses.